In the world of combat sports, there's an unspoken rule. Fighters are supposed to look like sculpted titans, carved out of granite, living embodiments of hours under fluorescent gym lights and strict diets. But every now and then, a few men come along who completely shatter that stereotype. Fighters who don't look like they belong in the ring, men whose physiques make audiences chuckle before the bell, only to silence every laugh with the kind of violence that echoes long after the fight is over. These chubsters, these walking walls of mass and momentum, prove that in fighting, appearances deceive, and every calorie devoured can be converted into raw, punishing power. Take Ismaile Lazar, a tank disguised as a man. Opponents see his round frame and think easy prey, but inside the ropes he is a wrecking ball of relentless energy. His opponent on this night? Daniel Sam, the African Terminator, a chiseled monster who looked like he was carved to dominate lesser men. But the moment the bell rang, Lazar stormed forward like a man who had downed a fast food combo and turned it into jet fuel. He ate punches like they were appetizers, his so-called cholesterol shield absorbing every strike. Daniel Sam swung, but nothing could crack the bulk standing in front of him. And then Lazar, with the cold precision of a butcher, began to carve away until Sam, the gym-built giant, collapsed back into his factory settings, broken and defeated. Against Lazar, not even a mythical Lazarus pit could bring him back. Then there's Vyacheslav Datsik, a man whose reputation alone sends ripples through the fight community. Legends have fallen under his fists. Alexander Emelianenko, Bigfoot Silva, men who thought experience and muscle mass could withstand the storm. But when Datsik squared off against Kofi King, a fighter who had left nothing but wreckage in his path, the script flipped instantly. Datsik did not flinch. He charged in from the opening second, fists flying with the fury of a man on a mission. King, once feared, suddenly looked mortal, undone by a barrage of blows that cooled his fire permanently. In the end, the so-called king lay dethroned, and the crown passed to Datsik, the man no muscle monster could bully. Chris Huggy Bear Barnett is a different kind of spectacle, not just a fighter, but an entertainer, a real-life kung fu panda with the charisma to make arenas roar. His physique may scream underdog, but his fighting spirit silences every doubt. Facing Travis Wolff, a man built like a rock wall, Barnett found himself smothered in the opening round, forced to fight through the suffocating embrace of a stronger, heavier grappler. But in round 2, the tide turned. Barnett unleashed his hidden dynamite, fists pounding with thunder until Wolff crumbled. And when the referee waved it off, Huggy Bear turned the violence into theater, celebrating not with roars of intimidation, but with a belly dance that sent the crowd into hysterics. He wasn't just a victor. He was a showman, proving that charisma can be as powerful as muscle. Then comes Drazen John, who looks more like a hobbit skipping his diet than a professional fighter. But inside the ring, he morphs into a dangerous anomaly. His opponent, Kevin Walter, a walking statue of muscle, came in with confidence, peppering John with high-voltage strikes, each punch thrown with the arrogance of a man who believes physique equals destiny. But Janjan bent reality. He slipped strikes like a portly Neo, weaving through danger with improbable agility. And then, in one stunning moment, he found his opening and detonated a single punch. Walter, the muscular art piece, dropped like a stone, sent into the shadow realm where only necromancers might dare fetch him. One punch erased years of weightlifting and protein shakes, proving that true power isn't always visible on the surface. Bob Sapp, the infamous steroid-fueled giant, enters this story not as the bully, but as the humiliated. Known for dirty tactics and raw intimidation, Sapp strutted into the ring like a snow queen ready to freeze his opponent with sheer presence. Across from him stood Alexander Lung, a man with the bulk of a glacier and fists like hammers. When the fight began, Sapp's arrogance carried him forward, but Lungu quickly introduced him to reality. Every strike from Lungu carried bad intentions, every movement designed to annihilate. Sapp tried to rise after being dropped once, but that decision sealed his fate. Lungu ended it clean, sending the oversized rodent sprawling. Karma delivered in the form of an extra large knockout. And then there's Roy Big Country Nelson, a legend in his own right. A man who has always defied expectations by carrying his power not in washboard abs, but in his granite chin and fists loaded with dynamite. Facing Dylan Kleckler, a younger, muscle-bound opponent, Nelson was written off as a relic. Kleckler came forward like a tank, hurling strikes with the reckless confidence of a man who believed mass and youth guaranteed victory. But Nelson, calm and collected, absorbed the punishment. And when Kleckler overextended, Big Country unleashed his Mjolnir-like right hand, striking with the force of a hammer swung by Thor himself. Kleckler dropped, the fight ended, and Nelson reminded the world that looks never win a fight. Power and precision do. Over and over again, these fighters remind us of a simple truth. In combat sports, aesthetics mean nothing when the cage door closes. The shredded physiques, the hours in the weight room, the glamour of being fight-ready all vanish when the first punch lands. What matters is toughness, heart, timing, and the ability to withstand storms long enough to deliver one thunderous strike of your own. These chubsters, mocked for their bellies and doubted for their looks, turned their doubters into believers with every knockout, every celebration, every moment where size and shape crumbled before skill and sheer will. The drama of these fights doesn't just lie in the knockouts, but in the shattered illusions. Every time a hulking, muscled opponent crumbles, audiences are reminded that power wears many disguises. Sometimes it looks like a chiseled six-pack, and sometimes it looks like a belly dance in the center of the cage. But the result, more often than not, is the same. The underdog walks out victorious, and the world learns a brutal, unforgettable lesson. So next time you find yourself judging a fighter by the way he looks, remember these stories. Remember Lazar storming through giants, Datsuk dethroning kings, Barnett dancing in triumph, Janjan sending statues to the Shadow Realm, Lungu toppling steroid-fueled bullies, and Big Country Nelson reminding us that real power is forged in grit, not aesthetics, because in the fight game, the body is just a shell. What matters is the storm inside it, and with that, the question becomes yours. Which of these unlikely warriors impressed you the most? Do you believe physique still matters in the fight game, or do these men prove that the heart of a fighter outweighs the shape of his frame? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.